want to go ahead and get started? I think a couple board members, looks like one board member is trying to get on, but we can go ahead and get started. I'll call this special board meeting to order of the Sacramento State School District Board of Education.
Recording in progress.
Thank you. For September 30th, 2021. Superintendent, can you please call roll?
Yes. Member Pritchett?
Here.
Member Morowski?
Here.
Member Wu?
Present.
Member Villa?
Here.
Member Rhodes?
Present.
And Member Garcia?
Here. All right, we have a quorum.
Excuse me, President Pritchett. Member Phillips as well is joining us. So.
Yep, I see her joining right now.
Yes.
Okay. We'll wait a second while she joins us real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Looks like she's on now. Good. All right. Member Phillips? We're doing roll. All right. And we have public comment.
We do. We have public comment from a Jane Doe. I do not see that person on the list. And also a John Doe, who I do not see on the list. And also Mo Cashberry, who is on the list.
Okay, go ahead, Mo.
If you could unmute yourself, Mo.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. I just wanted to say, Mo Kashmiri, I'm both a parent and I represent SEIU 10-1. I'm concerned that this is the board's 21st special meeting. This board has developed a practice of giving very little notice and then limiting access, especially to disadvantaged parents by requiring them to sign up ahead of time to be able to speak. And it also shows that the district can call special meetings quickly, but they're not calling special meetings on items like independent study, where thousands of students are not getting support, and we are way behind the X-bar. As part of AB 361, I encourage the board to lead by example and adopt hybrid in-person and virtual meetings. That way people can participate virtually and the board can lead by example. Since they're throwing staff into massive classrooms without social distancing, the least the board can do is show and lead by example, which earlier the board said it was going to do and hasn't implemented. I'm also grateful that AB 361 will no longer allow the practice of ensuring that people cannot speak for public comment unless they sign up ahead of the day before. Right now, the school district has a lot of challenges. We have massive staff shortages that are impacting the ability of the school district to even function. The last thing we need to do is by, trying to cut more benefits and pay. And the last thing we need to do is, end up with layoffs. What we need to do right now is support our staff, honor our promises, and give them the pay and respect that they need so that we can recruit and retain the best staff. But we have massive shortages right now, and this district needs to lead in a way that it has not yet. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other public comment, Ms. Moretti?
No, we had one other request, but I do not see the individual online.
Okay, great. Thank you. Item 3.0, Board Workshop Strategic Plan and Other Initiatives. 3.1, the discussion and possible approval of Resolution 3230, authorizing the use of remote teleconferencing provisions pursuant to AB 361 and Government Code 54953. Ms. Collins?
Good afternoon, board members. I'm here to present you with Resolution 3230, authorizing the use of remote teleconferencing provisions pursuant to the new law, Assembly Bill 361. This was urgency legislation signed into law September 15th, and it goes into effect tomorrow, October 1st. This law authorizes public agencies to continue conducting public meetings remotely during a state of emergency, so long as certain requirements are met. This resolution includes the necessary findings to enable the board to continue its practice of hosting board meetings through remote teleconferencing means. As a reminder, the traditional rule is if a board elects to use teleconferencing for a public meeting, the Brown Act requires 1, a quorum of the body to participate from within the boundaries of the agency's jurisdiction. 2, the public agency to post notice of each teleconference location. And 3, allow the public to address the legislative body from each teleconference location. Beginning in March of 2020, Governor Newsom issued executive orders relaxing these Brown Act provisions, allowing public agencies greater flexibility to hold remote meetings during the COVID-19 pandemic. Those orders expired today, September 30th. And in light of that deadline, AB 361 was passed, amending the Brown Act to allow public agencies to continue conducting remote meetings during a state of emergency without the need to comply with all of the teleconferencing requirements. Specifically, AB 361 suspends the requirements located in Government Code 54953 and relaxes the rules for remote meetings similar to the governor's orders. However, unlike the governor's previous executive orders, in order to continue to meet remotely using the more relaxed teleconferencing rules, the board must make specified findings every 30 days in order to continue to meet under these relaxed rules. Under the new law, a public agency may use the more relaxed Brown Act teleconferencing requirements in any of the following circumstances. First, there is a proclaimed state of emergency and state or local officials have imposed or recommend measures to promote social distancing. Second, there is a proclaimed state of emergency and the local agency's meeting is for the purpose of determining by a majority vote whether, as a result of the emergency, meeting in person would present imminent risks to the health or safety of attendees. Or third, there is a proclaimed state of emergency and the local agency has determined by majority vote that a result of the emergency meeting in person would present an imminent risk to the health or safety of attendees. After making those required findings, the board must again reconsider the circumstances of the state of emergency and make additional findings by majority vote every 30 days. This meeting today falls under the second category I just described. If the board adopts the resolution, it will be able to use the more relaxed rules for teleconferencing and continue to conduct meetings remotely through the use of telephonic and internet-based services so that members of the public may observe and participate in meetings and offer public comment remotely for the next 30 days. After that time, if the board does not reconsider the state of emergency and make additional findings before that time, the board may no longer use those relaxed teleconferencing rules and the meetings will be fully in person and the board will adhere to the old rules should a member attend remotely. So that is a recap of the resolution, a description of the history, and if there are any questions, I'm here to address them.
Ms. Moretti, do we have any public comment on this item?
No.
Okay, do we have any board questions or comments? Member Phillips?
Just a quick question. If we enact this, I don't know if you guys can hear me. If we enact this, and then we go the 30 days, and then we don't pass another resolution, are we going to be able to bring it back at a later time and utilize it? If we've gone to live and then we need to go back to remote?
A great question. The answer is yes, Member Phillips. If the board does not reconsider and make additional findings within 30 days, this resolution will lapse. But you can always come back at another special meeting under that category number 2 that I described as you are today and reconsider and make the findings again under the law.
Thank you.
Member Morosky and then Member Garcia.
Thank you. I was wondering, if we are able to require vaccination for attendees as part of it, just being in the COVID-19 pandemic. I know a lot of indoor venues are requiring vaccination to come inside of the premises and be like in a group setting. I just wonder whether that applies to our board meeting or not, or is that addressed?
Ms. Collins, you could probably answer this, but my understanding is that our boardroom is considered to be like a classroom. Because we do have a student board member present in our board meeting. So any regulations or rules that take place in the classroom will be the same for our boardroom. Is that correct, Ms. Collins?
President Pritchett's correct. So the board can require and must require that all local and state orders regarding mask mandates similar to your school sites are enforced because you do have a student board member. And we can talk about other boundaries of in-person meetings specific to your question, Member Morowski. We can put some of that information and discuss that further at a later point.
Okay. And just also wanted to, and I would be interested in, in more fully understanding, what health and safety parameters we are able to enforce to keep folks safe in an in-person environment. Okay, I think that's it for me. Thank you. I did. Sorry, I do have one other just question. I'm hoping to understand just from the staff side of whether there's any operational things that need to be put into place. I guess that would kind of correspond to the health and safety protocols that we would have to do. But just wondering, if there is a staff recommendation to move forward on this resolution today and any operational considerations that we should be aware of in terms of moving towards back to in-person meetings.
Member Morowski, I think that by passing this resolution, it'll give our staff the opportunity to do the reinforcements into the boardroom like they would a classroom to allow for social distancing and such, since the focus has been on classrooms at this point and school sites. Is that correct, Superintendent?
Yeah, that's correct. And certainly we can follow up with more guidance and direction from the board, but at minimum, board members, because we have already brought back our staff into CERNA and the board meeting would take place there, we would operate with the expectation of all of the protocols that we've put in place now in CERNA for others that might attend board meetings, and that includes all of the social distancing, the masks that are still worn indoors. So we would operate from that starting point. We have already started the process of bringing our team together. We'll continue to do so, risk management, health services, and others, facilities and maintenance, to make sure that our boardroom is set up. As you know, we are still using our boardroom on a daily basis as a community room for the daily testing, COVID testing that's taking place. So we have some work to do, and this gives us some time to think that through.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Member Morowski. Member Garcia?
I think like my questions were asked by both board members, so thank you for asking those. I think at this point, I just have a clarifying question. So if this resolution passes today, we essentially buy 30 days to think about how we're going to move forward, because at that point, unless we take another, vote to extend it beyond the 30 days, and we default into in-person meetings. And so these 30 days allow us to plan for that. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yep, exactly.
Okay. So I just needed to clarify that. So thank you.
Are there any other questions or comments? All right. With that, I will.
Just really quick,
Oh, go
I
ahead.
hope that, I hope that we can come up with a plan soon, instead of one at the very last minute. I really hope that we're working on that already, before we get to the next month, November.
We are, for sure. I agree. All right. With that, I'll entertain a motion for approval of resolution 32.
So moved.
Second.
Seconded,
Got a motion and a second. Superintendent, can you roll call? It doesn't
seconded.
call, but if you could, please.
Yes. Member Villa,
Hello, can you hear me?
yes.
Yes, yes.
Member Pritchett,
Aye.
Member Wu,
Aye.
Member Morowski,
Aye.
Member Rhodes,
Aye.
Member Garcia,
Aye.
Member Phillips,
Aye.
Perfect. Thank you, board. All right. With that, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Move.
So move.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. That was the record for the fastest board meeting ever. See you soon. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.